All right, everybody. Thank you all for showing up to this event for Sherman Jones and obviously the documentary, The Legacy of Cideshow Studios. This is Cideshow Studios. If you've never been here before, welcome. Fuck yeah. Real quickly, I'm going to tell you how I met Sherman Jones. Back in 1986. I was only 16 years old, and I was kind of being bounced around like a little bitch that day. It was funny because I came to meet up with Savage Grace. Those guys I knew, they were from, they were Hollywood. I think those guys came mostly from like Beverly Hills. Then I ended up hanging out with another band that same day. They kind of tossed me and moved me. They said, all right, go. It was Bloodlust, Mendenhall.
Metal Blade Records.
Metal Blade Records, yeah. So I was hanging around with all those bands, and at the end of the day, they finally, I was like a pinball. They sent me to this guy, Sherman Jones. And he was like the perfect fit because he was like an older brother. Those other guys were cool. They let me watch them rehearse. I talked to them, interviewed them, do all kinds of shit. Holy Terror was another one. So it was 4 bands in one weekend that I was hanging out with. But Sherman Jones and I, we fucking hit it off. We ran out of gas. We drank Schlitz malt liquor on the first night that I met him. So all that really cool shit.
Contributing to minors?
Yes, contributing to fucking minors. But I see a lot of really cool faces in the crowd and a lot of people I do know and I don't know. And I want to acknowledge all of those people that I do. I see Luis, who played drums with Insecticide. I know there's some members of Heretic around. Put your hands up. There's some old 918B members, Beowulf, fuck, you name it. All the new guys, the new acts, the new bands, welcome, man. Welcome to the family of fucking metal and of hard rock and of fucking just goddamn all around fucking zero fucking discipline. So give yourselves a hand, a round of applause, and then we'll got a few questions for this guy.
All right, here we go, people.
All right. So, Sherman, how did this documentary come together? How did you meet? So we're also joined by the producer and director of the documentary, Poppitt. Am I correct?
Of course, it's Tanner Poppitt.
Okay, so I reversed it. All right, didn't get as bad as Bill Stevenson, but anyway, fucking, we're joined by both the director, producer, and of course Sherman. So I want to ask both of you can answer at your will. How did this project get together?
Sure. Well, you know, I've seen Tanner play before in his band Madras. We actually played together down in a place called Stages in Santa Ana. But Tanner had called me and said he wanted to do a documentary on the LA scene from the year 2000 to now, and he was interviewing record stores, promoters, and he chose me because we know each other. We have a studio. So I spoke for about 3 hours, and about a week later he called me back. He said, "Hey Sherman," he's all, "you know what? I want to run something by him." Well, what's that? He's all, "I just want to do a documentary on you." He's all, "I do this documentary on the LA scene. It's going to take me a couple years because I got 20 years to cover." He knocked this documentary out in about 6 weeks. So I met up with him again. So I spoke for an actual 7 hours, and the film is only 37 minutes. It tells you how much stuff's on the ground. So the second time we got together, we talked more about the building. The first time around, we were talking about the scene. And then the third time we met, we went down to his house and we did the bonus footage for my dear friend who's no longer with us. And like I mentioned at the theater, he's like a father figure to me. We did a little bonus footage for him because he needed to be acknowledged. One thing I do want to mention is years ago we did his podcast here in one of the rooms, and we had like 13 bands, and we did one every half an hour. It ran like 2 o'clock in the morning. He did the only interview for Dennis Burman, the Wizard, that's known to many. So if you want to check that out, I'm sure he'll give me the information. But that's how it came around, where he just said, "Hey, I want to interview you for the LA scene," and it just got sidetracked and we did Sideshow, and I'm eternally grateful.
Did you say you got sidetracked at Sideshow?
Yes, I did.
Thanks for setting me up with that. No, so if you actually want to watch the interview, it's actually a bonus feature, which I'm selling DVDs of the film that you saw tonight.
Yeah.
$10.
This is it right here. I was surprised they have them grab one cheap. They're really cool.
I just want to make it so it's easy for people to pick it up. It is a bonus feature, so if you'd like to see the interview with myself and Dennis, it is available on that particular DVD. So I don't think there's anything more to add to what Sherman said, but that's basically the gist of kind of how it came together. And I remember the ending scene where I ran it by you and just said, "Hey, we should do something cool. Like, I want to put this at the end, a tribute to Dennis, just because we didn't have anything in Sideshow, and he's kind of well connected and I just wanted to pay some sort of tribute to him.
Every band that came through town played the Waters Club or whatnot, Dennis was a sound man. He did bands like King Diamond, and every heavy metal band in the 80s that played the Waters Club, he was a sound man. The story once Dennis told me that he was doing the sound, and it was the band playing the Waters Club, and he says, wow, this band is really, really good. So he always made tapes. And he ran the tape and he went to go talk to the band afterwards and he said, hey, I made a tape for you guys because you guys are really good and you guys are going places. And they said, oh, well, thank you, but okay. They blew him off. That band was No Doubt.
Oh, shit. That's the way it works, right? Right? Let me ask you something real quickly about that I noticed in the documentary. You have, since I've known you, had the two longest relationships that were intertwined in this documentary and on this, on the studios. And that being your guitar player from Insecticide, Gimme Brian Smith, or Brian Gimme Smith, and now your girlfriend, Gina. And they were both, connected to you in very different ways, but those are the two longest relationships I've known you to ever have outside of friendships like with people like me and Dina. But address how both of those relationships have really culminated and make Cideshow what it is.
Each relationship is a dynamic. The relationship I have with Gimme started out as with friends, and then the band, and then, within a couple of years, we toured the United States and living in a van and living on people's floors and staying in out of hotels and going up to the Niagara Falls and Toronto and Washington, D.C. and Fargo, North Dakota and Albuquerque, New Mexico, Portland, Oregon. It's a different bond because we're two males, and sometimes we go to a party and, I'll see him in the morning. As far as Gina's my girlfriend and she keeps me on track. And, she does all the stuff around the studio where it's like, I just, I may put it off, but she pushes me to bop more. She likes the incense, but she's really detrimental to the studio because a lot of people go to her for their more sensitive aspects, or for me they might just come and they need some strings or something, or there was something wrong with the amp, they do that. But when they want to get in depth with some feelings or this and that, I've actually practically seen guys in the office crying to her about their relationship, and I just back off because I'm not that guy. I can be sensitive, but at times like that, it's like, oh, dude, come on, don't worry about it. You'll find another girl, or things will work out. That's me. She'll coddle them, and I think that's, you got yin and yang, and she's perfect for me.
And there's always toilet paper.
Yeah, there's always toilet paper.
Tanner, what was the most favorite part of this documentary for you in terms of its creation? What was it that helped you learn and grow who you are about just what you met with Sherman and a lot of the people that love him here at the studio?
So, when I was doing the film, it was meant to be like, how do I put this? Like, kind of like a one piece of another film, of a completely different film. It ended up turning into its own thing because I kind of stumbled upon, I don't think stumbling's the point, because it was always there, but I found out about the culture that surrounds this place. And also, too, I wanted to answer the question of how important rehearsing is. So this was the vehicle for me to answer those two kind of components and put them into one film. And what makes this place special, you got the bulletin board, which I always thought was a special part of any business. You go to the Guitar Center, there's always a bulletin board. That's how you found out, hey, this guy needs a guitar player. Cool, let me give him a call. And this place has that, so it establishes that community and it kind of reinforces having a community and the importance of it. So, yeah, I just felt with all the dynamics that this place kind of has, it was perfect for a film.
Nice. Sure.
Hold on real quick. Tanner touched on the bulletin board. At our first building, I had a wall. It was like 20 feet long.
Bulletin wall.
Yeah, so I turned it into the... I was claiming, and I was probably lying, but I was telling everyone, I got LA's biggest bulletin board. Because it was literally like 18 feet, and I was able to hang huge posters. And there was a lot of gaps, but I claimed that for a while, that I had LA's largest bulletin board.
How did you hang those posters? With a ladder?
Yeah, okay.
Sherman, one of the things, and I think both of you can probably answer this as well, but I don't want to ask too many more questions, but the one that I think was finally the one pivotal and most important one to me was how the sense of community. And now you're generation, dude. This is like weird. I remember when you opened this up, I didn't think it was going to last but maybe 2 or 3 years. I was hoping that it would endure, but I know how these things work. But the sense of community that all these people feel and love for you, and I was taking a nap on that same couch the other day. I felt fucking good. It's like a very comfortable, cool place for a bunch of different heads, high and low, all over the place to hang out. You should be very proud of that.
Oh, thank you. You know, I am, and I have everyone that's here and every band that walks through that door, everyone that calls the phone number, I have them to thank. Because if there wasn't a need for that, I would go do something else. When Gimme and I opened the business, I really thought we'd do it for like 5 years and we'd move on to something else, or I would do it. I found something to keep me busy, and I work at a school, and I always tell the kids, when you find something that you like to do, you love to do, it doesn't matter if it's playing golf or making models or drawing. When you find something you like to do and you can, in your later life, maybe make money at it, man, you got a win-win. And I was very fortunate that I'm familiar with these places, and that it works for me. And as far as being comfortable here, you know, I can go back and look at books, and I can see lull times within the months and whatnot. And I say, oh, Mondays are slow between October and February. So, you know, that's why I have the TVs here. And I tell people, hey, well, we got to watch the game. Because I got the game on at the shop, you know. And I can throw Monday Night Football on here. We had the NBA Finals here. So you can go and rehearse. And if you want to catch the game during a break, you can come out here and watch it.
Just chill out.
And I think there's something to be said about having a community and a culture that's like almost lost in today's world. And so getting the opportunity to document that, I can't thank you enough for that opportunity, and now we have it for eternity. So unfortunately, your granddaughter in the movie is going to have to say, oh man.
That might have been me. I'm sorry. Well, all right. I think we're going to wrap this up, but I want to thank first and foremost Tanner Poppitt, the director and producer.
Thanks everyone for coming out. We appreciate it.
Stand up and take a round of applause, dude. You fucking kick ass. Thank you very much. I really like that it's cross-generational, very big time in that respect. This is a great thing for the future of music for Los Angeles and worldwide. Definitely.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And of course, we want to thank the fucking man himself, Mr. fucking Sherman Jones. Did a fucking theatrical fucking opening for the movie, which I thought was a lot of fun. I want to thank you all for fucking being here, for Sherman, for Tanner, for this documentary. Make sure you help out and tip Gina back there and whoever. They're doing hard work. They really did a great job of setting this up. And it's fun to be fucking here in LA. I love, this is my favorite city outside of Albuquerque. We're a small town, probably about the size of Torrance. But coming out here, I've met some magical people along with Sherman Jones, and he's turned me on to other people, and they've turned me on to other people. And just like I'll meet all of you tonight, I hope you have a fucking great night, fucking have fun and party, man. Fuck yeah. War fucking